students. After our second question, let's look into the third question. What is a variable in a social research? What are the different types? Please elaborate. Okay. Yes. Here, what do you understand by a social research? Whenever we are looking at any kind of a social fact or any characteristic, a variable is those phenomena which particularly changes from one situation to another situation. From which part of the syllabus this question has been asked? It has been directly taken from our unit 2, talking about what are the different phenomena that are being conducted. We look at a hypothesis. What are the limitation to those hypotheses? What is the meaning of quantitative variables, different aspects of qualitative variables? What is the meaning of validity, reliability? So, particularly from the unit 3, if we take a look, the last part is trying to capture the variables in a sociological research. A variable refers to any particular phenomena that can vary from more than one of its types. If you look at a social phenomena or any of its characteristics, such as a situation or a group that is being observed or it is being measured, and it is considered to be as a tool in those analysis of relationship. For example, if we look age, it can be varied into different segments. I can say someone can be called as a toddler or an adolescent, an adult, or a middle-aged guy. So these are the variables which are present within the age. If I'm talking on the basis of literacy, somebody can be called as 10th pass. Somebody can be called as intermediate cleared or a graduate, postgraduate. These are different variables within the case of an education spectrum. Same way, the caste has got its own number of variables. The occupation has got its own number of variables. So what we'll be looking is, first of all, we'll be trying to look at a definition. A popular definition has been given by a sociologist such as P.V. Young. P.V. is telling any phenomena or any element that can vary beyond one of its characteristics will be called to be as a social research. If you further go ahead, how the approach will be categorized. There are different kind of aspects to how a research can be categorized, such as one is an independent and a dependent variable. What is the meaning of independent variable? Any factor that can influence or produces changes into an another variable. For example, if I'm talking about a running race of 100 meters, this particular 100 meters of a running race has got the aspect of its own duration. Duration means somebody can run that in a span of 10 seconds, whereas somebody can run in a span of 17 seconds. So a fast paced race of 100 or 17, they are independent in itself. For example, the distance is going to remain the same. So the distance will be called, like for example, if I'm talking about in the aspect of a running race, we have a distance and we have a time. Somebody can run that in the form of 10 to 15 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, 25 seconds. This will be categorized to be as independent variables, whereas the distance will be considered to be as dependent variables. If we further go ahead, we can again have a categorization such as on the aspect of qualitative and quantitative variables. The qualitative variables are going to be abstract in its nature. They are going to have a subjective component attached. They cannot be measured on the basis of empirical evidences. So such kind of phenomena which are expressive in nature, which are elaborative, which can be interpreted on the basis of one individual, it varies on the basis of perspectives and interpretations. These are called to be as qualitative variables, whereas quantitative variables are empirical in itself. They are objective or they have got a certain value or a number attached to it. So in these ways, different variables are being used which defines the complexity of a research. So what are the important dimension that we need to look into? First, we need to write a definition given by P.V. Young. Second, we need to look at the core content part, which highlights the different forms of variables. These are the different types. This is the way how you're on these aspects of these four categories, your marks will be given. And the third aspect, what we are having is the conclusion. in which you need to highlight how Weber has told the complexity of a research is based on the number of variables attached to it. More the number of variables, more the research will be considered to be as complex. Lesser the number of variables, it will be considered to be as a more simple research. So these three dimensions of definitions, core content part, and the conclusion. Let's go to the fourth question.